installed by Kelly and Lindgren during a spacewalk that is scheduled to take place later this summer after Lindgren arrives on board the International Space Station. The first of the two docking adapters will be mated to the pressurized mating adapter number 2 on the forward end of Harmony. The second international docking adapter will be mated to pressurized mating adapter number 3 on the space-facing side of Harmony.
Mission Control Space Program 2, go ahead.
Но мы потихонечку собираем.
We're getting ready here.
Сейчас выйду. Хорошо.
Okay.
Мы уже все собрались. Верхний и нижний зал.
We are all gathered here. Both control rooms. Waiting for you.
Samantha Cristoforetti there in the field of view, the latest in a line of European Space Agency astronauts who have flown to the International Space Station. The next one will be Andreas Mogensen of Denmark in September, and then Tim Peake of Great Britain will be launched to the station in December. Anton Shkaplerov now in the field of view. There's your 3 returning crew members. Shkaplerov waving.
How do you read us, Mission Control Moscow? From MRM. And you're watching us also, right? Yes.
Ну что, мы готовы к процедуре прощания, закрытия люков.
So we are ready for farewell ceremony and closing the hatches. Yes, go ahead, we can see you very well.
And now Shkaplerov saying goodbye to his Russian colleagues, Padalka and Kornienko and Scott Kelly, who will remain on board the station as a 3-man crew for the next several weeks.
Removal.
Two station commanders saying goodbye to one another, and now Wirtz saying goodbye to Kornienko before he makes his way inside the Soyuz spacecraft that will be his ride home, along with Wirtz, along with Shkaplerov and Cristoforetti, a short time from now.
Plug, remind, okay? Can you see that we have removed it? Yes, we can see that.
Wishing each other good luck and soft landing before the hatches will be closed. Wirtz, Shkaplerov, and Cristoforetti now inside the Soyuz TMA-15M, with landing scheduled just about 6 hours and 40 minutes from now.
Okay, thank you, Mikhail. We will wipe the seal now. Yes.
Shkaplerov and Padalka wiping down the perimeter of the hatchway at the interface between the Soyuz and Rosviet, ensuring that there's no foreign object debris of any sort that would impinge on a good leak check at the time that the vestibule or passageway is depressurized. The leak checks are to ensure that a good vacuum and a good seal is ensured between the departing Soyuz and the International Space Station. And the hatch to the Soyuz closed at 2:04 a.m. Central Time, 3:04 a.m. Eastern Time. Padalka will now work to close the hatch on his side of the docking interface. Again, hatch closure at 2:04 a.m. Central Time. And the hatch on the Rosviet side, or the station side of the docking interface, closed at 2:05. The Soyuz hatch closure at 2:04 a.m. Central Time. So Virts, Shkaplerov, and Cristoforetti are now inside their Soyuz TMA-15M spacecraft. They will begin additional systems checks and the work to depressurize the small passageway between Rosviet and the Soyuz itself. They will begin to don their Sokol launch and entry suits and conduct other systems checks and communications checks with the Russian flight control team at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside of Moscow.
Все принято. Саш, вам сброс нужен по закрытию люка?
Shall we downlink the recording for hatch closure?
Видишь, пока не нужен сброс.
Not yet.
Мы вас видели в прямом эфире пока.
We
Пока нет.
saw you live, so not yet. Okay.
Some of the milestones for the returning crew of Virts, Shkaplerov, and Cristoforetti. Once again, the command to open up the Soyuz hooks that have held the Soyuz in place to the Rosviet module since last November 24th. The undocking command will be sent at 5:18 and 30 seconds a.m. Central Time. It takes about 90 seconds for those hooks to jive open. Springs on both sides of the docking interface between the Soyuz and Rosviet will push off against one another to cause the physical separation, the actual undocking of the Soyuz itself at 5:20 a.m. Central Time this morning. At that point, Expedition 43 will officially come to an end. Expedition 44 officially begins under the command of Gennady Padalka, along with his two crewmates for the next 6 weeks, that being Scott Kelly and Mikhail Kornienko, the two one-year crew members on board the International Space Station. And again, they will be in an extended indirect handover, if you will. That's the phraseology that is used between the departure of a part of a space station crew and the arrival of its augmenting crew members. The next three crew members to arrive at the station won't be on board until late July, that being Oleg Kononenko, NASA astronaut Kjell Lindgren, and Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Kimiya Yui. Once the undocking takes place, there will be two separation burns. The first for 8 seconds, a A burn that will increase the Soyuz velocity away from the station of about 0.59 meters per second. That 8-second burn will increase an opening rate between the Soyuz and the International Space Station as it backs away from the Rosviet module. A second separation burn will occur at 5:24 a.m. Central Time, a slightly longer burn of 30 seconds in duration to further increase that opening rate that will result in the Soyuz drifting away from the station to a point 12 kilometers away from the complex for the deorbit burn, the firing of the Soyuz engines at 7:51 a.m. Central Time, a 4-minute, 41-second retrograde firing of the engine, a braking maneuver to enable the Soyuz to descend into the Earth's atmosphere for its return to Earth.